Hey everybody, how you doing? It's time for AskBroman again. God damn it, it's insane. Episode 33. It is Tuesday, January 16th, coming up around 6 p.m. on the East Coast. I hope y'all are doing super well. It's been an interesting day. I'm still recovering from PAX, which is great. PAX South, which was an amazing time. I got some crazy news this morning. I woke up and my management team was like, "Hey, congratulations on this award." And I was like, "What the fuck?" And they're like, "Yeah, you got nominated for Streamer of the Year award," which I thought was a fucking prank. And then I checked, and it was not a prank. So it's been a fucking cool day. I'm happy, but it doesn't change shit. I'm still out here trying to do everything I can to help you guys out. So welcome to the podcast. I love you. And yeah, we're going to get right into it. This is Sarky. Again, number one, King of Compton, first one in line. So he gets in first. What's up, dude?
Hey, Broman. How you doing?
How are you doing? Ooh, I like your accent.
Thanks.
Yeah. You're
welcome. I'm from UK and moved around a lot, so I've got a really meshed accent.
You got a mashed up. Where you live right now? Where you stay right now?
Like northwest, so like Merseyside area, Liverpool, kind of.
Okay, all right, nice. I'm gonna pretend that I'm great at maps and know what you're talking about. What can I do for you today, my man?
Well, I have a few questions I want to ask you. Mainly, I've been getting back into Twitch. I used to do it a few years ago, and basically what happened is that after streaming for such a long time, this one game, I kind of got sick of it, and
yeah.
I tried to
I don't know
move
what that's
off
like at all.
No, but I tried to move off that game and it just didn't go well for me at all. So
transition's difficult.
I lost every viewer and I carried on streaming, like tried to get through it, but I couldn't get those viewers back. And I think it might have been just because the game I was streaming was so small that I was one of the only streamers streaming it most of the time.
I see.
So I used to pull in like average like 25 viewers, something like that. Game called Naruto Storm 3, I think.
Sure, gotcha. Yeah, little anime Naruto action.
Yeah,
gotcha.
Yeah. So question really is just like when I'm playing these other games that aren't as small and have like a more wide viewer,
Yeah, there's a broader
streamer.
reach. More people are streaming it.
How is there a way to make myself stand out from all those other people? Find myself more entertaining in those times where it's more quiet and I'm trying to concentrate on the game or whatnot?
Yeah, sure. So I got a couple questions for you first. What drew you to that game specifically to stream it? Was it like the characters? Was it the gameplay style? Like what was it?
Well, at that time it was just because I basically just found the game and it was a fighting game that was simple to learn, so there was no combos, so it was, right down my street, no learning.
Yeah.
So and then when I tried to look for it on Twitch, because there was no one stream, I couldn't find any like big communities around it other than on YouTube. But when I went on Twitch, because the streamer count was so small, I thought that I could maybe then build my own community around it.
Yeah. Okay. So you were successful in doing that.
Yeah.
So I have a couple of thoughts. First of all, one of the best ways to transition your viewership or condition them to, enjoy you playing something else is to, you touch base with your core game, right? Like you play what people know you for, and then, the last hour of your stream, you maybe play something else. And then, that changes over time. You'll play your first game and then you'll end with 2 hours of the second game. And then, you sort of titrate it into your schedule, right?
Yeah.
I don't know much about the game you're talking about. Is that still a relevant game, or has there been like an update to it?
It's been years. The game's not even played anymore, and the latest game in the series, even that's not being played.
Understood. Well, I mean, at this point, you're very much in a situation where you're kind of starting over, which is fine. You actually executed really well when you were starting your channel because you found a game that you loved that no one was streaming, and then you streamed it and it went really well for you. That's actually a great strategy that you can use to relaunch your channel. Find another game that you're incredibly passionate about that's underrepresented on Twitch and start streaming it. For me, when I got started, I was streaming Borderlands 2, and there were some streamers on Twitch that streamed Borderlands 2, but not an awful lot, because the game had already been out for a while. And I managed to build my community, because I was one of the relatively few people that was streaming that game. So I'd recommend sort of relaunching your channel the same way you did this time. Like, do you have your eyes on any games that are coming out right now?
No.
Okay.
I'm trying to find. At the moment, I'm trying to find that game that I want to play, and because I know that variety streaming on Twitch is a lot harder to get into. So
it's hard, but it's not impossible.
I understand it's not impossible, but what I'm saying is, like, when you're really small, like literally starting from new again, it's at the point where if you're switching games every single stream, it's a lot harder to get people just to stay, because they're they're not playing these games.
Have you considered streaming on Mixer or Facebook Live?
Yeah, I use Restream so that I can stream on YouTube, Twitch, and Mixer all at the same time.
Gotcha.
And I tried to incorporate Facebook Live into that, but you have to pay $15 subscription on Restream to do it at the same time.
Yeah, exactly. There's a little bit of upfront investment for Facebook Live. I'll tell you from people who have started streaming on Facebook Live after being on here that they've actually had a lot of success even without using the restreaming platform. So it's something to consider, especially since you're in a position where you're kind of starting over. Facebook's been making some very interesting moves lately when it comes to the live streaming. Like they really pushed out Facebook Live as a life sharing platform. To sort of build it out. And when I look at that, I see it as more of a beta test, and now they're starting to incorporate more specified content. So you might be in a great and very advantageous position if you decide to just go all in on Facebook. It's gone well for the one other person who's been on here and gave it a shot. Other than that, I would really, if your goal is to grow a community and really interact with folks, there are better places with more opportunity than Twitch. So I would really consider, in the long term, what your goal set is. So if your goal set is to just, grow your community and have as many people watch you as possible, provide great entertainment and things like that, there are other places where you can start, miles ahead of where you would start on Twitch. Now, if you super love Twitch and you have this romantic relationship with it and you're like, I love Twitch and it's great, it's my favorite platform, I respect that as well. But it doesn't really change the advice. You need to find a game that not a lot of people are streaming, but a game that people are buying or interested in. So anything that's on the Humble Bundle list, anything that's in the top 10 of the Steam charts, these are great places to look to find games to get yourself started.
Also about that, I've heard you mention a lot in previous streams, going with games that people are interested in, but not many people are streaming.
Yeah.
There's sites like, I think it's called Twitch Strike, which basically what it does, it ranks certain games that are being streamed with a high viewer count but low streamer list. So what would your advice be on using sites like that to try and find a game?
Smart. It's a great tool. I didn't know that existed. I've been doing this for a long time, so I still think that you just have to brute force everything, right? Because when I started, there wasn't a lot of really refined tools to do data and analytics work like that. But yeah, websites like that sort of distill, the mass consciousness of a platform into some really digestible bits of information like that's fantastic. I would highly recommend using that. What's it called again?
Twitch Strike, and then there's a couple other ones, but I don't know the name of them.
Yeah, cool. That's what Twitch Strike. Okay, I'll check that out and learn a little bit more about that. But anything that's providing high level overall analytical tools is going to be a great guidepost for you. Especially if you just log into something like that, 2 or 3 times a day and sort of see where things are at. It might also present new opportunities for you where you're like, oh, wow, I didn't know that this game really is mega popular, but it doesn't have a lot of streamers between the hours of, 5 p.m. and 8 p.m., which would be a great time to start your stream because people are probably going to be looking around to try and find someone to watch.
Yeah.
sort of just hacking at it, man.
That's one way to think of it.
Yeah, I mean that's how you get success, right? You keep trying until something works.
Yeah, that's one. I'm definitely going to be using sites like that, I think, at this point.
Yeah, that's good. You got any other questions for me, my friend?
Yeah, I've got a few, but
no, that's fine. No, you got me, man. What you got? What else you got?
With mentioning with streaming on Facebook Live, would you recommend maybe like picking like, because I currently have like 4 stream days that I can stream, and then would you maybe taking 2 of those days and then streaming on Facebook Live, and then the other 2 streaming using Restream, what I've been doing with Mixer, YouTube, and Twitch, maybe?
I mean, maybe. Maybe.
So I'm not just putting all my eggs into one basket. If that makes sense.
Here's the thing. Like, at one point, you probably will have to. I would recommend doing something like that for a couple of weeks to see if you like the platform that Facebook has for streaming. But, you know, I think that going all in somewhere is necessary eventually. It just kind of depends on, like I said, it depends on your goals. You know, in your situation, I would recommend streaming everywhere and seeing where you get traction and then putting all of your eggs in that basket.
Yeah.
You know, but here's the thing, and this is important, and I think a lot of people lose sight of this. While you are figuring this shit the fuck out, you are not wasting time. Everyone's like, well, if I'm not growing, then I'm wasting time. You're not fucking wasting time. You're learning. You know, nobody walks into a calculus class day one knowing how to do calculus. And you fuck up a lot, and it takes time, and it's hard, and it's difficult. But everything along that process is part of becoming great or figuring out or mastering that skill. And streaming is no different. You know, every time you decide to put in, whether it's, 5 hours here or 5 hours with Restream or 5 hours on YouTube, you're getting better at the craft of streaming. And I would make sure that you keep that in perspective and just like, don't stop experimenting with what works and doesn't work until you find what does.
That's a lot of information to take in.
Sorry.
It's okay. It's why
there's a lot. I mean, there's a lot of analytics involved in sort of designing things in a successful way. But that needs to be your North Star, right? Your guiding point needs to be everything I am trying is part of the process to being successful, including failures. You know, that's what's going to keep you motivated to continuously try after you fail for the 100th time. You know, it's by no means quick and easy. It takes time, it takes effort, and it takes talent. And, if you've got the drive to do it, you'll figure out how to make it work. So those are the first 2. What do we got for the last one?
Okay, I've had this idea, and it's kind of like, it just kind of came onto me a few days ago because I've been basically been binge listening to your podcast recently.
Excellent.
I think. So I've heard a lot about you talking about, you can't remember who said what podcast you were watching or listening to, but he basically said, just go out and do it. Just do a Q&A or something like that.
Oh, yeah. Gary V.
Yeah. Well, after hearing talking about how easy it was to start a podcast or something, I was thinking of maybe doing like not to the extent of how your podcast is, where it's like multiple times a week, or maybe just once a week, where it would be as if like, because one of my passions at the moment is like anime. I'm really into it and all that type of stuff.
Oh, it's great.
So I was thinking of maybe making like a book stub style anime club, kind of. So like, every week we'd push it to be like, okay, everyone in the chat, we're going to be watching this anime this week, and then at the end of the week we'd have a podcast where we just sit there for an hour and talk about it.
I love that. I love that. Yeah, that's a great idea. Having an anime book club where you get together and you like bring viewers, or you bring a set panel in and you just talk about, you and your 4 friends all talk about whatever anime or manga you read that week. That's fucking genius.
And then I was thinking of bringing in kind of like the style of your podcast, where like we'd be able to bring in some of the viewers into my Discord, and then we could then talk about it with the viewers, see what they liked about it, see what they think they change, and then decide, or as a community, what anime we want to watch next week.
Yeah,
And
absolutely. I mean, any format works. I want you to do this. More than anything that we've discussed, you need to do this. This is a wonderful idea. I don't know how many people are out there doing this. There might be a couple that are already doing it, which doesn't mean that you won't be successful. But that space is more wide open to you than streaming is. So you have more opportunity in that space than streaming. Not that I'm telling you say fuck streaming or whatever, but I'm telling you that you should definitely invest time in making sure you execute your podcast the right way, because that idea actually gets me excited and interested, because I don't have a lot of time personally to engage with anime and manga the way I used to because I'm very busy, but I definitely have fucking time to listen to a 2-hour podcast about whatever's hot right now. And I would listen to it with great joy, because I would be able to be, involved with a culture that I have become disconnected with because of how busy I am. So, like, from the bottom of my heart, please fucking do this. And everyone in my chat room is going ape shit about it as well. So please,
Oh my God.
figure it out. I know you've heard me talk about it before, but Anchor is a great place to start your podcast, as long as you're keeping things under 90 minutes. You can record there. You can record on your PC, upload it to Anchor, hit 2 buttons, and create a podcast feed that's going to iTunes and Google Play. So the app's Anchor, like what you would use on a boat.
Okay.
I'd highly recommend checking Anchor out. Yes.
I'll definitely do that.
Yeah.
Oh, and about your podcast, because I know you stream it live on Twitch, so when you take the audio from that and then upload it to, upload it to like iTunes or
Sure.
Google Play or something, do you record it straight onto your PC, or do you just download the file after you've streamed it?
I record the video live. I use VLC Media Player to rip the MP3 audio off of the video. I put the MP3 into Audacity. I put it through a compressor. I put it through a voice limiter and a leveler, and then I upload it.
Okay. I'll definitely come back and re-listen to this.
Listen to this again, but now all the information is there for you. That's absolutely everything I do to publish.
Okay. Oh, it's fine. It's good to hear that the idea is actually good. And
it's a fucking killer idea, man. It's such a good idea. I mean, like just to take a couple more seconds with you before we get to the next person. It's such a good idea because there is so much media and advertising that goes into trending topics, right? So if you pick up and read whatever manga is hot for the month and you talk about it on your podcast, people are looking for more content about what they love, and you are providing more content. If like Kotaku does their top 10 anime of the year, and people are like, oh shit, well I don't have time to watch all of them, and you fucking do a podcast that's like the top 10 anime breakdown, and you take 10 minutes and talk about each one of these fucking things, suddenly everyone else is doing advertising for your own pod. Like, they're advertising for you. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Yeah, like it is a really, really good idea. You just sort of have to like bounce around and figure out how to structure it the best. But following trends with your podcast is going to increase your discoverability so much. And I am really, really excited to see. It's fucking start this shit next week, and I can't wait to see where you are in a year.
Okay.
Like, I think that you do it the right way, and I think it'll really pop.
Okay, thank you. It's really helped.
No, man. I love hearing good ideas. If you have like any follow-up questions or anything like that, my DMs are open on Instagram always. I'm Professor Broman on there. Please feel free to hit me up and say like, hey, I was thinking about this, and this. Like, can you give me some feedback? Can you give me some advice? Whatever, and I'm there for you. I check it at least once a day and answer everyone that I can.
Yeah, if I have any more questions, I'll contact you straight away.
Yeah, man, please do. I'm really excited. Thank you so much. Do you want to let everybody know where they can find you on the internet right now?
Basically everywhere I'm just Saki, which is SARRKEY, but on Twitter it's got an underscore on the front.
All right.
Yeah, an inactive account's got that, and it's not disappearing.
Those inactive account bastard motherfuckers, I tell you.
I know.
Oh my God. Well, thank you so much, man. Thank you for coming on and sharing and asking such good questions. And I'll get you next time, man. Okay.
Thank you. Thank
All
you for
right,
all
dude.
the help.
Peace.
Peace.
So again, that's Sarkey, Sarrkey. Sarrkey. I love that idea. See, like I know you heard me. I know anyone who's watching live saw me get like an instant business boner. But anytime that you can come alongside a pre-existing set of content and add your personal spin to it, whether you're simply condensing the information, interacting with the content, providing your spin, providing analysis, like this is the sort of stuff that fans love. No matter what, you fan of sports, fan of anime, fan of business, cryptocurrency, fucking knitting, whatever it is, you're always looking for more analysis or thoughts on what you're doing. So I'm excited. I'm gonna like bother him a lot, and I'm gonna see if like, you know, we could do it, and then maybe one day I'll be a guest. That's so excited. So exciting, man. All right, let's grab this is I Race the Reaper. I don't know if Race the Reaper's been on before for AskBroman. I know we've raided together in Destiny, but we'll see what's going on with Race the Reaper. Hello. I'm not hearing your microphone, dear friend.
Microphone.
Hey, there it is. Now I hear you.
That one.
Now,
okay. There we go.
Hey, hi, what's up?
Sorry, damn Windows updates, they keep messing everything up.
No, man, Windows updates are the fucking devil, dude. I'm with you. What can I do for you, my man?
Okay. Yeah, so I'm obviously I just wanted to start off. I've been watching you for God knows how long now, and holy crap, dude, it's amazing to be able to catch you every now and again, because I work overnights, so
I noticed that you kind of been maybe not around as much as you used to be. I thought that's the first thing I thought. I was like, man, I hope they got a raise, like, or something. You know? But yeah, I'm glad to hear that you know, life's going all right.
Yeah, it's gotten a lot better actually the past few months for me, so that's a good thing. But all right, so my question, one of them has to do with streaming, the other one's actually kind of just a random stuff. Yeah. But no, for the first one, I stream just a little bit, like between 2 jobs and school. Like it's like my way to decompress from the stresses of life and everything in the world.
Yeah, beautiful.
But the one thing that I do keep kind of running into is coming from console onto the PC and everything. It's I feel bad because I can't always get the like the group chat audio onto stream so people can like hear the banter now and again.
Yeah.
So every once in a while on particular games, they just kind of hear me talking and laughing and have no idea what else is going on.
Gotcha.
And so I've been trying to find ways to work around it and everything, but nothing's quite working out too well. So I was just curious if you had any insight. Yeah. I was trying to look through some previous podcasts to find, I think, some
Let me ask a couple more questions. So you're streaming off of your PC with a capture card from a console game, yeah?
Yes.
Okay. Make all of those motherfuckers get on Discord. I'm not joking. If they have a fucking console in their house, they have a laptop, a PC, or a fucking cell phone that they can use too. And like, honestly, they'll all appreciate it because you won't be blowing each other's ears out with like shitty audio quality.
This is true.
And like, and I understand that like there will be a little bit of resistance, but like, you're not asking them to fucking climb a mountain. You're just asking them to use a device that's going to make it easier on their ears and easier for you to record and present, you know?
Yeah.
There are solutions, like you can get a Astro preamp or something, and then you can audio, like split the audio and make sure it gets to your PC and all this other bullshit. And that's really complicated, and it costs fucking money, and you have to troubleshoot it. You know what you don't have to do? You fucking download an app on your phone, you plug in your fucking earphones that you already have with a fucking microphone in them, and then you talk to your friends. You see what I'm saying?
Yes.
I'm very assertive about this because this is a question I get a lot, and everybody wants to find this really complicated hardware solution, and there's so many good software solutions out there. That just work better. It's not and it's going to enrich your friends' lives. Like, yeah, you might use Discord for you, but there's so many different fucking Discord channels now, like for streamers or for hobbyists of any different type of organization. Discord's really blown up as a platform, so there's a lot more to it than that. So that's my recommendation there. Do you have any other questions?
Well, the other thing, sorry, this is kind of like the add-on to that. I use Discord for just about everything. I've been able to convert some people over to it. Some people still just, the resistance is still there.
Yeah, because they're assholes. I get it.
But the other thing would be, how can I word this?
Take your time, man. No stress.
Okay, for sound audio as well. So again, kind of just playing, kind of to be able to listen to sound audio through the PC. Every time I've been able to play with OBS to be able to hear the sound capture, it's now capturing it twice because it's playing through desktop as well now. So then desktop audio gets...
What capture device are you using?
It's an Elgato, the HD60.
Elgato HD60. Okay. And it's duplicating, so you're hearing the audio twice?
Yeah, because it's obviously capturing. It has where's my OBS? No, it has the sound capture, the game capture on, and then I have desktop because I usually have a little bit of music playing in the background. That's also usually just for me because
So you need to mute it as the true source, right? So the Elgato source that's producing all the audio, mute that. Because if it's also projecting the audio on your desktop, it will continue to do that. If you mute Elgato in OBS, it'll still end up on your it'll still end up, as a single sound source on your desktop. Is it duplicating in your ears as well?
It was for a little bit, and then I ended up stopping because it was just bugging me.
Yeah. So the other thing is, I wouldn't recommend using their software to do the audio capture or anything like that. Another option that you can do is inside of mute everything, right? And then inside of OBS, there's an option under your capture card, an audio option that says, I'll actually look at it right now. It's an audio option that says under properties at the bottom, it says audio output mode. Okay. And you can change that audio output mode to output to your desktop. So you actually don't have to change anything. You can just pick up the audio directly onto your desktop. That might solve your duplication as well.
Interesting.
That's how I use the 4K 60. Now he's muted. I don't know how many times we've brought it up on the podcast, but audio is a fucking bastard and a half for a streamer. And it is always difficult to do. There's reasons why you can get degrees in audio engineering because it is difficult. Hey, welcome back.
Yeah, sorry. Yeah, I was listening. I just hit the wrong button.
Oh, it's all good, man. So yeah, I would recommend trying that. If that doesn't work, I would Google the exact words of your problem, type it into Google, and you will find a solution. You'll probably find 10, and one of them will be the right solution. Or you can reach out to Grindhead Jim, who has been on here a couple of times, and he has been doing troubleshooting stuff for broadcasters. Him and some other folks have started up like a little collective of folks that are troubleshooting stuff. So you can also check him out. He'll probably be able to help you a little bit more than me.
Nice. Yeah, I mean, and then like that moment when you ask a question and somebody says something that's really basic and you feel kind of weird because you feel kind of bad because you didn't necessarily think of it.
No, I mean, like, listen, audio is confusing, right? It's easy when it's all wires. It's hard when it's all just fucking letters on your computer. It's difficult.
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
Oh man. No, thank you. And I said it's something I play with maybe like 2, maybe 3 times a week. So it's
tough, man. I mean, audio is
really
a bastard. Like, I never gonna get upset, and you should never feel stupid for like having a seemingly obvious answer to an audio problem, because you're usually so far into the shit that it's hard for you to see the simple stuff. I've been there too many times.
Oh man. Yeah. Well, thank you. It's
anytime, man. Anything else I can do for you?
I had a random question, but I've forgotten it from all the excitement.
Man, I love random questions though.
Being in the oh, okay, actually, yeah. I just remembered. So
Hot.
Now this is completely off topic from what normally is on AskBroman. It actually doesn't have much to do with streaming or anything like that. Actually, not very much at all.
That's fine.
But so there was a few episodes a long time ago, I guess, on the Jam. You guys ended up getting into like some random astrophysics conversation, and I made the comment that one day I would love to have a drink with you and actually talk to you about that.
Okay.
But just random question. It'll be kind of a short one.
All right.
What astrophysics question is ever short? But
all of
what
them.
is? How do you? What do you think? So there was something I was reading a particular I guess thought that keeps Neil deGrasse Tyson up at night, and that is the fact that because the universe is expanding so quickly that we have already missed just countless ideas and discoveries just in our short time. So basically he kind of makes the gist of it is he makes a point like there's so much, because it's expanding so quickly, we have already missed our chance possibly to find not necessarily life, but just life as an example, or a new technology or something like that.
Uh-huh.
So what is kind of your thought on, do you see?
I don't think there are limits on human ingenuity, and I think that using the current way we understand the universe, we may feel like we've missed our chance, but you never know. There's like, if we're talking about the scale of the universe and infinite time, you never know whether or not we might be able to invent something that sucks us back to an earlier part of our universe without fucking everything up. I don't worry about that personally. I guess is my answer. I bet on people. Kind of weird. I will always bet on people to figure, like, if we had to figure that out, like some way to do that in order to save the fucking planet, or just if that was the only way we could get a hold of some ultra rare element, like, we'd figure it out.
True. Yeah. Well, they are finally starting to send like a tether, I guess, of satellites over into a black hole. So the next, I don't know. Well, we'll be long dead, but we're probably going to be getting more information on that pretty soon, which is actually pretty neat.
Yeah, it is. It's very exciting. Or steal the technology from people. Yeah, steal everyone's technology. Whatever we need to do, man. We'll make it happen. Well, thank you so much for being on, dude. You want to let everybody know where they can find you on the internets?
Ooh. Yeah, I actually on Twitter it's The same as my name on here, I Race the Reaper, just with an 8 at the end.
Okay.
And then I actually stream on Mixer more.
Excellent.
And it's the same. It's mixer.com/I Race the Reaper. It's all the same.
All right, man.
Yeah, it's been.
That's good,
Well,
man. I hope you've been enjoying it over there.
Yeah. So actually, it's been a lot of fun. The community over there has actually been pretty cool, and
Oh, they're great
and
people.
pretty
I got to go
accepting so
to
far, yeah.
got to go to a Mixer party at PAX South, and everybody there was very happy and kind.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, and
Yeah, everybody's been super cool. It's been kind of strange at first.
There you go.
Yeah, no. Well, thank you. Like I said, the audio part was just a little bit of a headache for me. So thank you very much for
I'm
that.
glad
I
we got it
appreciate
sorted out, man. It's like one step closer to you feeling really confident with what you got going on. I love it.
Yeah, no. Thank you, sir. And I appreciate it, and I will see you on at GuardianCon then.
Yeah, dude. It's gonna be great. I'll see you then.
It's gonna be absolutely amazing. Thank you, sir. I appreciate it. You have a great night, dude.
Talk to you later, dude. All right, we're gonna get this guy. This is Brew Fueled. I believe Brew Fueled had a problem last time we tried to talk, which was the last episode. But now I think Brew Fueled, he's ready to go, or she's ready to go. I don't know. They're powered by Brew, and anyone can be powered by Brew. Hey, Brew Fueled, what's up?
Not too much.
Excellent. What can I do for you?
So I've got a two-parter here. A couple different things.
Okay. I like
the first one is, what's your opinion on using voice adjusting software?
Go on.
Like, so...
More specific context is what I need.
Yeah. Growing up, I went through, and I'm from a sort of off the beaten path part of Canada.
Gotcha.
People think I have a, like, awkward accent kind of thing.
I don't think so.
All right.
I think you talk just fine with words.
And then the other one I've noticed is, like, certain streamers, as they get better, higher quality equipment, they add, like, a bass booster to their voice and other stuff like that.
Yeah.
Is that, like, just a normal progression thing as you get better equipment, or... Like, I just want to make sure I'm not trying to jump ahead and find, like, an onboard software that can...
No, I mean, preamps and mixers and stuff, they aren't a magic fix button for your vocal quality. You can buy a $10,000 microphone and plug it into a shitty, unbalanced system, and it's going to sound like garbage. Things like compressors and vocal enhancers, they're not so much there to change what you actually sound like. Like, if you meet me in person, I'm going to sound like this. It just kind of effectively manipulates the dynamic range of your voice being delivered over the audio, right? Like whatever audio feed, whatever compression is necessary, because, audio is not one-to-one digitally as it is traveling over air. So it's more about finding hardware and software that work well with your vocal range in order to make you sound more like yourself and less like a robot.
All right, that's fair.
I highly recommend using, anything to level out your voice. Like, I have this very nice vocal compressor that I use that has, some vocal enhancements on it, but it's also got a compressor so I can go and scream really loud and it doesn't hurt anyone's ears, that's a very key piece of equipment for me, because I'm a loud guy. I get very loud very fast. I don't want to fuck anyone's ears up, and I used to all the time. So my opinion on that is it's part of the natural progression, and it's part of providing a really solid quality tone.
All right. That's good. Good information to have.
Yeah,
all right. Then we can move on to the other one, which is I work a straight 9-to-5 Monday to Friday job, which means that primarily if I'm going to try and stream at all, it's going to be in the evenings on the Eastern Seaboard.
Cool.
Which means crazy busy time schedule, like everyone is streaming at the same time kind of thing.
Sure.
And I know from chatting with other streamers, they're always stressing find the time slot that needs to be filled. And I just don't know how to accomplish
Multiple
that.
ways to approach the answer to that question. So
Yeah.
you're thinking about it with a very strict definition, which is find the time when there are the lowest amount of streamers on Twitch and then stream them. The way that's conducive for your thought process and the time that you have, because remember, being consistent and finding the best time means like that is the answer for what works for you. You're obviously not going to quit your job and start streaming at like 3 a.m.
Yeah.
So you have the time that you have to work with. I would, sort of similar to the first guy we spoke with, I would find the time slot for games that you want to stream inside of the times that you can stream where there are not as many broadcasters streaming that game. Starting right after you get off work's actually great. There are a lot of really big broadcasters on Twitch that, part of making it on Twitch is having a normal ass schedule where you don't have to stream overnight anymore. So, folks will not be, they'll be getting offline around 5 or 6. There's a lot of opportunity there as well. I think it's about, for you, it will be about finding a game that you want to stream and then finding which one of those games that you want to stream has a low concurrent streamer count during the time that you have available.
All right, that makes good sense.
Yeah, and then of course, standard recommendation of checking out other platforms, because a lot of people think that Twitch is the end all be all for live streaming. There are other competitors that are coming out, and there is nothing wrong with being the #1 broadcaster on the #2 platform for streaming.
Yeah. Of course, Mixer's gonna grow. YouTube kind of flopped, but you never know. They could do something crazy. They could come flying back. Yeah.
Facebook Live hasn't even started playing the produced content game on Facebook Live, or they've barely started. They're not even leveraging it yet. There are a lot of spots that are wide open for you to, experiment with.
Yeah. All right. I think that's pretty much it. I mean, I'm not as crazy active as I'd like to be because 9-to-5 job, and I've made the real attempt a couple times, getting like 2-3 weeks straight in and not seeing a huge amount of growth. I just need to find that patience and really go for it, I think.
For sure. I mean, yeah, what is it about streaming that draws you to it?
I really like games and I like entertaining people.
For sure. Another thought, YouTube is there to do pre-produced content.
True.
But there are lots of forms of media that you can interact with. If live medium is, what you're absolutely best at, then by all means, go hard. But, you can start a podcast, you can start doing a YouTube channel series, you can start writing, for a game blog or something. There's a lot of different ways to get involved in a hobby that you're passionate about. So just make sure that as you're going forward, that you really are connecting with something that you're the most passionate about. Because if you're trying to just force it because streaming seems like, oh man, it'd be so cool to be a broadcaster, and oh man, that's neat. And if that's the only thing that's driving you and you're not really passionate about it as a platform or as an approach, other people are always going to outwork you and you won't see the success that you want. Because 16 hours might kick your ass, right? But for someone else, 16 hours, they're just getting started because they fucking love it.
Yeah, that makes a lot of sense.
Okay, man. I just want to make sure, man. Listen, if streaming is what you want to do, I'm not trying to deter you. I'm just, for you or anyone else out there that's listening, there are a lot of different ways to get involved in your hobby. And I think that a lot of people do approach streaming, if they're big on Twitch, it's the escape. It's the escape and it's the dream. And for some people, it shouldn't be their dream. And I'm not saying that about you. I'm just saying that in general, there isn't a singular solution that helps everybody get to where they want. So while you're looking into streaming and doing all that shit, if you fall in love with it, which I'm going to assume you have because you've already made a few really great attempts, that's awesome. But if you discover something else that draws your interest, you know, whether it's pre-produced content on YouTube, or it's interacting with people on forums or whatever, there are a lot of different paths that you can take that are going to be equally successful if you put in the same amount of time. And it's all about finding the one where you fit in the most.
Yeah. I mean, like, I totally understand that, and I get that completely. Just like the big thing I think I had as my falling off point when I tried my couple times that I have gotten a decent amount is I don't have what you continually stress as the bad thing, which is like the home. I want like just that thing that I'm going to do every time I go on so that it's expected, because being
you don't have to have that.
It's what I think that
it's what you think that you need.
I crave, like, exact schedule. This is exactly how it's going to be kind of thing. And that's how I produce better, I think, at work at least. So I assume that this would be the same as a hobby. So,
you know,
I want that.
A lot of people get obsessed with making it perfect. And because they're obsessed with making it perfect, they just don't make it at all.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I'm very upset. Like, I'll use podcasts as an example. Podcast downloads begin to peak at 6 a.m. Eastern every single day. I am obsessed with making sure that my podcast goes out at 6 a.m. Eastern every single day. Past couple of days, that didn't happen. Did I say fuck it? Because I can't, well, if I can't get all the downloads out of this day, then I don't even want to fuck this shit. No, I still did it, even though it wasn't perfect. My advice to anyone who's just getting started is you need to fucking do it every single day. Because that discipline is what's going, like that discipline going into it, is going to keep you going. Because let me tell you, if you think you don't know what you want to do now, the more you go into it, like that question never goes away. You know, like I wake up some days, I don't know what I want to stream. I don't know what I want to do. I have to figure it out. And I can't just phone it in because, well, because I'm confused right now, my stream won't be perfect. So, like, you know, my advice is if that's what's holding you back from streaming every day is like, I don't know what to do it. Just fucking figure it out and do it. Because if you're not doing it, then like you're keeping yourself one day further away from your success. And the more you wait, the more chance you're going to have to massively regret missing the bus, missing the train, missing the opportunity, whatever it is.
All right. I think I know where I'm going to go to dig my heels in for a while and try and get that scheduled repetition I'm after, and then maybe branch out from there like you did, kind of thing.
Absolutely. I mean, absolutely. Fine.
AGDQ may have inspired me for a while. So
speedrunning's great, dude. That's why I got started. 18 months, same game, speedrunning. It's
I kind of want to punish myself. I think that Dark Souls 1 is calling my name.
Do it, man. The Dark Souls community is great, especially for speedrunners. Just ready for them to be a dickhead to you until you're good.
That sounds like a reasonable community to get involved with.
Yeah, I mean, everyone's a dickhead to you about speedrunning until you're good. So, you know, just get good as fast as you can. All right, man. Enough talking. Where can all these people find you? Yeah,
so on Twitter, Twitch, and Instagram, I'm all at Brewfield. Same thing everywhere.
Okay.
And then
that's
I do
BREW fueled.
Yes, my obsession with coffee and beer is real.
I love it.
And then I also have a YouTube channel, though there's not really anything on it. It's just Brewfield Gaming.
Gotcha.
And that's as far as I've adventured into the social media sphere.
That's good, man. Well, best of luck to you. I hope you go out there and, you know, you learn your speed run of choice. And I can tell you the speedrunning community is one of the best communities ever. And I love each and every one of them. And that's how I got my start. So you're finding a great place to start with.
Cool.
All right, man. You have a good day.
You too.
All right, man. I am going to fight this cold off, I swear, or whatever. If I have the same thing Kevin has, chat, I'm going to have it's an upper respiratory infection. But whatever, dude. I'm stronger than it. Let's grab one more person. This is Devil Corrupted. They've been waiting since the beginning of the stream, patiently in Discord, and now we're going to talk. Hey, Devil Corrupted, what up? Oh, yeah, he's nice and quiet. Feels good. Make sure you have the right audio devices selected, correct microphone, correct headphones, all that stuff. While he's sorting this out, let me flesh out a little bit more what we talked about with Brew Fueled. The reason I like to bring up the idea of not streaming every once in a while to people is because I know that that's a vast majority of the thing that people are listening to this for advice about. But there is so much truth in finding what you love to do and what you are best at. And not everybody's going to be the best streamer in the world. I was awful at mathematics. I would be a horrible physicist. Even though I had dreams of being one, you know? So while if you're in a place and you're looking at streaming, you're like, wow, I love that. You're daydreaming about getting out of where you're at, and Twitch or YouTube or whatever it is the escape point for you. That's all well and good. But that might be more of an indication that you just need to get out of wherever the fuck you're at and into something that makes you happier than it means you need to be streaming. Not to discourage you. You know, if what I just said made you think, fuck you, Broman, I'm going to go 10 times harder, that's great. Streaming's definitely your thing. But if you're listening to me say this and you're kind of like, man, I don't know, I really think about, like, yeah, maybe, then consider it. Absolutely consider it. Devil Corrupted is still having a hard time. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take him out and then I'm going to bring him back. And then I'm going to tell Devil Corrupted to check headphones. And then I'm going to tell Devil Corrupted to check their microphone. Make sure their microphone is turned on. And, up to the appropriate levels in Discord. You can do that by clicking the little gear link, clicking the audio output device and make sure it's the right thing, and then clicking the audio input device and making sure it's the right thing. And if none of that works, you can always disconnect from Discord, reconnect, and I'll pull you back in here. And that works as well. Yeah, all of that stuff works for sure. Dun, dun. Ba, ba, ba. All right, poor Devil Corrupted is not happening. Looks like it's not happening. So that kind of sucks. So let's grab Destructo. Hello, Destructo. How are you doing? It sounds like maybe everyone's Discord just crashed. So that's a neat feature that rarely happens, but it happens when we're doing the podcast. Yeah, so we'll wait for a second for Destructo to make sure they do all of the audio checking that I just recommended, and then we'll talk to Destructo. And if we can't talk to Destructo, I'll leave you with some closing thoughts, and we will just get them next time. Yep. That's what we're gonna do. What's going on? I don't know, man. People not ready. It happens. I get it. People not ready. People might be AFK, which I would not recommend doing if you're waiting. Yeah. Fun stuff. All right. Well, we'll give Devil Corrupted one more chance. Hey, Devil Corrupted, I noticed that you are back and your microphone is muted, which means that if shit crashed, you're fine. What an awesome end of the podcast this is right now. Everyone who's listening to it's already turned the shit off, and I don't blame them. What's up, dude? How you doing? What can I do for you? All right. Tough shit. Maybe next time everyone will be ready. And I will obviously flag these people's names so they are ready for the next time. They'll be in here next time and it'll be great. Yeah. So some final thoughts for you all. Thank you all for listening today. First of all, really appreciate you. Second of all, if you're out there and you're listening and you've been debating whether or not you've wanted to try and come on the podcast, let me just kind of do a little PSA for you. I do not think that there is anything that I do for any of my content that will be as impactful as this. You know, it's my favorite thing to do. All right, I'm gonna give this guy one more try and we'll edit all this bullshit out. Hello, Devil Corrupted, how are you? Hello. He just said in chat that he fixed his microphone, and I really want to get one last person on here. Oh man, we can just sit here and wait, dude. Like I am dug in at this point. Third time's the charm, buddy. Just unmute that microphone. All you gotta do, you just gotta unmute it. You gotta unmute it. That's all you gotta do is unmute it. And maybe reset Discord. All you gotta do, man. That's it. I'm here for you. Maybe disconnect and reconnect. That fixes things, dude. Oh, man. This is tough. This is tough. Tough stuff. All right. Well, we're gonna kick him out of the server so that he is forced to rejoin the server, and then we'll get him on next time. All right, Destructo is telling me that their audio is fixed, so let's get Destructo on here.
Yo, Broman.
Hey, fucking finally! God damn it! What's
yeah,
up,
I just had
buddy?
to
How you
much.
doing?
finally caught AskBroman.
Yeah, you sure did. And you gave me a fucking heart attack with all these fucking audio issues. But what can I do for you, my friend?
Well, I have 3 questions.
Sure.
The first one is my name. I've just gotten tired of it, don't like it anymore. And I feel like I could do better or have a better name.
Okay. So change it.
All right.
That's it. That's what I mean. If you don't like it and you don't buy into your, whatever your branding is, if you don't buy into your handle, your name, you need to change it. Because you're not going to ever sell something effectively that you don't believe in.
All right.
Yeah.
And so my second question is, I've sort of gotten stuck in this one community because I stream Rainbow Six Siege.
Gotcha.
And I stream straight from the Xbox.
Yeah.
So I feel like I've just gotten stuck in this one community completely, and I'm trying to branch out more, but I'm having trouble doing that.
Trouble how so?
As in, most people I get in my stream are all from this one community. I'm just having trouble expanding, building my own community.
Okay. So, I mean, like we were talking about earlier, if you have issues with getting buy-in from your community to follow you to other games or to engage in other activities, the best way to do it is find other games you're passionate about, stream the game that you're known for, Rainbow Six Siege, and then stream the second game and fucking ignore your viewer count. Ignore it.
Okay.
Close the fucking page because
I've just been ignoring it recently.
Good. Good. If you want to grow, you have to take risks. And, the longer you wait to start doing the thing that you want to do because you're worried about how it's going to affect your viewer count or how many people are chatting or whatever the fuck, the longer you wait, the less of an opportunity you're giving yourself to actually grow.
Okay. That makes sense.
Yeah. It's a hard skill to learn, but it's crucial.
Okay. And my last question is that most people, like in my family and stuff, they don't understand what streaming is to me, like how
Sure.
I want to make it as not just a career, as a passion.
Okay.
And I'm having trouble explaining them.
Don't bring up the word career to your family until you're actually making money. Is the first thing. Because that, and I know some people are like, you know, fucking follow your dreams and just fucking go all in and let them know and fucking stick it to them. And listen, you don't need to make your life harder than it needs to be. The most important thing for you is like right now, and this is the shit that I did with my family when I got started. I just needed them to understand why I was passionate about what I was doing. Money or not, that, you know, your success or failure as a broadcaster or whatever you do in your life, like that belongs to you. You know, you don't need to give them that leverage over you to be like, oh, you fucking failed, blah, blah, blah. Even though your success and failure belongs to you, you don't need to have people talking shit to your face. So I would focus, if I was you, I would do what I did, which is focus a lot of energy on trying to get them to understand why you like Twitch as a platform.
Okay.
You know, you should, like, for me, it was really easy because I was into speedrunning. So right after when the second Awesome Games Done Quick came on, or Summer Games Done Quick came on, I would, you know, head over to my parents' house. I would boot it up on the, you know, I'd boot it up on my laptop. I'd be like, look at this. This is why I like Twitch. Because everyone understands charity. Everybody understands trying to save other people's lives, etc.
Yeah.
You know, so if your personal goal is to make it a career, that's fucking awesome. And that's your goal. But there's no reason to, if your family's being resistant to just the idea of you even approaching something, and it matters a lot to you to get your family's, you know, buy-in or support, then you have to present it in a way where you can actually win that fucking argument.
Okay.
Otherwise, you're gonna have the same conversation I had with my dad, which was all of this stuff is trending in a positive direction. I think I can make a lot of money doing this. I think that I can at least replace my income. This content creation platform's in its infancy, and I think I have a lot of success. 5 years ago, I had this conversation, and he said, "I think you're making a massive mistake." Because that's what your parents do. That's what they're going to do. So you can either, you know, choose to have that conversation and do what I did, which is basically say, fuck off, I'm doing it anyway. Or you can maybe take a better route, which is get them to understand why you're passionate about Twitch.
Okay. That helps a lot, because I've been trying to stream as much as I can with my class and my work, and they have an understanding like why I do it. So I'm gonna just try to talk to them, make them understand.
Yeah, I mean, like there's just, yeah, exactly. Make them understand why you're passionate about it. That's what matters. They just need to understand why you love it. And then they'll support you. Or they won't, and you'll move out and it won't fucking matter. You know, when it comes time to move out, I'll
probably be moving out in like a year or so.
Well, there you go. Then it's a non-issue.
Yeah. All right. Thanks, Broman.
No problem, dude. You want to let everybody know where they can find you?
Right now, I'm Destructo227. Still gonna change that.
Yeah.
But that's my Discord, my Twitch, and my Twitter.
Awesome.
That's all I have right now.
Love it, dude. Well, thank you, man. I hope you have a great day, and, you know,
You too.
learn. I wish you the best with your family, talking to them about whatever it is. And remember, you know, like if it's your dream and it's what you want and you can't convince them, it doesn't mean you should change your mind.
Okay.
All right.
Thanks.
Talk to you later, dude.
See ya.
Family is so hard. Family is so hard. I'll leave you all with this thought, and it's kind of how I live my life, my entire life. I would rather take every reasonable risk that is ever presented to me so that I don't have any regrets, than make sure, I would rather do that than avoid criticism. Because at the end of the day, it doesn't matter what anyone else thinks of you. It matters what you think of you. And if you can live a life and you can lay your head down every morning or every night, whenever you go to bed, and say, I'm happy with what I've got going on right now, even if no one else is, you've won. It's tough to get there, but that's the way to do it. Thank you guys so much for listening today. Thank you for all of the amazing support for Ask Broman. Thank you for the great questions. If you're new to the podcast, if you could rate it or subscribe, that would be perfect. I would appreciate it immensely. If anything we talked about today hit home with you, hit me up on Twitter or Instagram or somewhere and just like let me know what you thought. I'd love to hear from you. I'm at Professor Broman everywhere online. And like I promised you, I'd tell you a little bit more about the Streamer of the Year nomination thing. So I got nominated for a Shorty Award, which is like a social media accolade. And if you like what we've got going on here, you can vote for me there every day. The voting link, if I remember correctly, it is shortyawards.com/10th. That's 10 and then TH and then /Professor Broman. And you can vote there every day to assist me in winning Streamer of the Year, which is absurd to even be considered for, and it would be impossible without each and every one of you. Anyway, so let's win this together, shall we? Thank you all so much for listening. I love you, and I will catch you next time. Peace.